So I beat Clair Obscur pretty much like 2 weeks after it came out, and I just never really made a video on it. I think I was waiting to really collect my thoughts because I loved this game. And I think it's actually going to be why this is going to be a little shorter of a video, just because I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. Or rather, I would like to, if possible, make a like real video about it. Not that I think I will, but maybe in the future, or possibly a year-end video where I actually go over more in detail about the games I'm beating. This is what I do want to spend a lot of time on because this is contender for my favorite RPG of all time. Now, if you know me, you know I don't really like RPGs. It wasn't until last year where I really sort of found my footing with beating, A Thousand Year Door and Final Fantasy 16, and really started getting into Yakuza, to where I have genuinely been able to find my footing. Obviously, now you see that I've beaten Ni no Kuni, and I'm working on Ni no Kuni 2 right now. I'm still working through Yakuza, and I played Clair Obscur. So I have really come around to this genre. And this was, I think, a really big part of that. I think that the way that this game handles combat with the parrying and a lot of the animations make turn-based combat, which I am not the biggest fan of. I am a zoomer in that way, where these sort of slower turn-based games, it's hard for me to really grasp onto it. I've gotten a lot better at it, but it is still something I struggle with. But the animations and the parrying make getting into it and feeling like I'm really there in the moment so satisfying. You're seeing a lot of animations on screen right now. It's just so cool. There's like the jumping thing and stuff like that. I think A Thousand Year Door had that as well. For me, now obviously I've only really played a couple RPGs, so I'm sure there's a much better comparison to make here, but it felt like the button prompts and reactiveness of A Thousand Year Door mixed with Persona 5, the style and stuff of Persona 5. That's what it felt like to me. And it was awesome. Obviously, there is also the story, which is so fucking good, dude. And there's really nothing I can say kind of without spoiling it. It has some of the best character acting and best voice acting in most games. I don't know if I want to say any game I've played, but it's really up there. There are multiple endings, and I have witnessed them both, or however many there are. Shit. Well, I mean, it's better. Essentially, there are two, which isn't really a spoiler, but they're both really good. And even just from the opening, I just felt so connected to, especially the two characters you see right now, Mael and Gustav, and a lot of the characters you get later on, are just so interesting and so cool. And I think at the end of Act 2, I was like, what is going to happen? Even by the end of Act 1, there is something that happens in Act 1. I literally can't say anything without spoiling it. We're like, what? What the fuck? Like, whoa, like, what is happening? How are we even going to continue on with the story with what just happened? That is essentially the ending of every act. And, by Act 2, I was just completely like, all right, I'm going to really spend time. I'm going to explore this map. I'm going to try to do a lot of the side stuff. And, man, it is fucking hard to the point where I skipped a lot of it. I do want to go back, especially now that I'm much more leveled up, and go through a lot of the stuff I missed. This is a game I will be replaying in the future. I already just know that. So when I do that, it'll probably be years from now, right? But when I go and do that, I'm definitely going to be trying to do a lot of the harder side bosses and mini bosses and stuff like that. And um, yeah, I really like this game. This is game of the year for me. I don't think anything other than maybe Donkey Kong, which is coming out literally tonight, could beat this for me. It is so fucking good. Even if you don't like RPGs traditionally, dude, you gotta check this out, man. This also had Ben Starr, which is one of my favorite video game actors, voice actors, whatever you want to call it. He's so good in everything. I really fell in love with him with Final Fantasy 16, like most people, and he's in this game. Not gonna say anything more, but he plays a big role, and I love him in it. There's like this relationship thing that you can do with a lot of the characters, which I thought was cool. And one thing I liked about this game, I think to close it off, is that yeah, you can spend like 100 hours in this game, but if you're just doing the main story and, the optional side stuff that contributes to the main story, this is like a 40-hour game, maybe even less than that. I think I have total like 39 hours, and I love that. There isn't this bloat that you see in a lot of RPGs. I, I think I spent maybe like 5 hours grinding, just sort of like trying to level up myself just to make the end game a little easier. But you don't even really have to do that. If you get good at pairing, if you get good at min-maxing the stats and, all your abilities and stuff like that, you can just destroy enemies in this game with pure skill. And I love it, man. This game is amazing. This is maybe my favorite RPG of all time, not counting Yakuza because that's like not really the same thing. You know what I mean? It's like an action sort of thing. Obviously the Yakuza series are my favorite. But I think the only thing that really contends with this is A Thousand Year Door, and I think it beats it personally. So I don't know. This is a game I'm going to come back to in a couple years or so. Maybe I'll even play it sooner than that. I don't know. And I think I'm going to fall in love with it all over again. This is amazing. This is my game of the year. The only thing I could see it being beat by is either Donkey Kong, which I don't think is going to be beat at the Game Awards by Donkey Kong, or Death Stranding, which I think is maybe the only game, at least as of right now, it has a real shot at beating it. This game is amazing. I think it's only $50, right? $50, which, gee, oh, dude, 50 bucks. It puts games like Mario Kart to shame, bro. Paying $80 for fucking garbage, respectfully. And then this comes out for $50, and it's like one of the best games ever. It's so good. Please check it out.